Welcome, friends, to this week's Reset and Recalibrate embodiment practice. We're meeting here in that awkward space of holiday time between the solstice, Christmas, New Year's, a time where we tend to lose insight and lose sight of what's going on. We're influenced by meeting with family, by having the kids out of school, by having breaks and transition and maybe a little bit of travel. So this is a time where this week we're going to really look at, as we grow into or wind back into, better yet, the new moon energies and the Gregorian New Year coming up. How do we stay connected to our inner will and our inner strength? How do we stay strong right now? So our practice this week, we're going to look at the relationship of the kidney line coming up from the earth through the inner line of the leg into the groin with a dragonfly practice. And then we're going to take that into supporting the body to get really strong and to get really stable as we figure out what kind of new pathways, new resolutions, and new beginnings we want to bring forth in this coming year. So for this shape, I like to use a bolster to support the body. For dragonfly, we're going to come into a wide-legged position. Notice that as you come into that wide leg position that you kind of can either move the flesh from your butt away from the sits bones or just kind of sitting up. We don't want to be collapsed back. We want to be able to sit up in the body. I like to bring the bolster in front of me. Again, remembering that the yin practice is all about setting up the conditions for change and supporting us, and the bolster is bringing the ground closer to us. So kidney energy runs from the ball of the foot into the inner line of the leg, and then it comes up and exits right here at the clavicle in this nice little bump in this space. So we're going to be connecting to breathing energy through that line. So as we find the bolster in front of us, sometimes if you need to, you can add an extra bolster. We just begin to melt down and just adjusting where you need to be in space. And finding, again, that inner condition of stillness. The shape is a container. Shape creates an inner space of alignment for energy to flow, move, and change. As you find yourself in this space, making any subtle adjustments, to help support stillness. And then, as always with the yin practice, shifting into the second transformation, which is that of awareness through the breath. Inhaling from the ball of the foot up the center, line of the leg into the groin, and all the way up the center of the torso, exhaling, releasing out through the clavicle. And then this week we're looking at the theme of drawing energy up through the kidney line to keep us strong, keep us aligned in our will. And even though schedules, time, influences, distractions may emerge, we stay stable in our center. As you invite the awareness of that breath to move up the kidney channel, connecting into themes of will and inner fortification and strength. And we stay in that center access point, thinking about the coming year, resolutions, goals, new ways of engaging that inner fortification. How are you going to get strong? How are you going to fortify and stand in your truth? Considering these themes as you follow the breath, the ball of the foot inside the legs, up to the clavicle, exhaling out through the clavicle, the brain, and ultimately the mind. Kidney energies, water energies rule the brain and the mind. The nervous system, and as that willpower comes up from the ground, that willpower has the potential to influence our thoughts, our egoic perspectives, and keep us engaged in our strength and integrity. We'll spend one more minute in this space. Last 3 full body breaths. Now, once your third breath is complete, using the strength of your hands, gently rise up, and then taking any subtle adjustments, maybe kind of gas pedaling or moving the knees. We're going to activate kidney 27. So this is a point here, if you go from the sternum and just basically the space between the sternum and the clavicle, drop down into that point. This point has a really special story of, you were to imagine if you were to walk into an apothecary or an ancient place full of elixirs, that this point has the perfect elixir. You open the jar, you take a sip, and it revitalizes everything in your mind. It's like a shot of fresh, clear perspective. So as we've been moving through this beginning winter season, the stress of the holidays, the time with family, really trying to cultivate some inner strength to figure out what our resolutions are, this point, this massaging into it, is going to help to activate like a breath of fresh air and a little like elixir of your own inner vitality to wake up your mind and help you feel strength, integrity, and engagement in staying in your center. The next practice we're going to do in today's or this week's practices is we're going to come into a standing posture that's going to challenge our body and support us to get a little bit stronger in our ground and our stability. Now that we've found our way back to standing, we're going to go into a little more of a challenging shape standing to support will, to support strength, and the ability to take the inner fortification of our new habits and disciplines into actualization. So for this shape, we're going to get into hibadachi, or horseback stance, and we're going to open up about 2 shoulder width apart and sinking so that the knees are directly over the ankles. Try to notice the 4 corners of the feet can anchor in, and then make sure that the pelvis isn't rotated forward, it's not tipped back, it's not shifted from side to side, that it's anchored down the middle, and that the sacrum creates a keystone of balance. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands in front of the body. Lagum point, the center of the hand faces towards the nipple line. And allow any subtle adjustments that you need to make to create the integrity of the structure so that the muscles can hang and the breath can open. This is all about willpower, taking that vital foundational kidney energy and putting it into something that creates cultivation of strength, endurance, and foundation. Kidney energy is all about the vital essence. It's like the estate, the jing. And it connects us to our willpower, our will to walk towards our purpose, our will to stay on our path, and our will ultimately to endure and survive. Willpower is a transformation of fear into actual strength, development, and creativity. At the rawest form, the jing is our sexual energy, allows us the potential to create new life. So this time of year, we cultivate, we nourish, we build, and stabilize this energy. It's not time to spend it, it's time to get familiar with it. It's time to strengthen it. And it's time to gain a deep access to your power. So that springtime, when it comes, you have the energy to create. We're going to spend just about 1 more minute in this space. If you're feeling extra hardcore today, maybe this is the 3rd, 4th time you've done this, sink a little deeper. Notice if you sink deeper, the shaking or resistance, that's a weakness, leaving the body. Wintertime is a perfect time to cultivate inner strength, to build on your reserves, and to stabilize your energy. Last 3 full breaths here. And once that 3rd breath is complete, release out. And give yourself a moment to feel the stability, the cultivation, the strength that you've built. the will to stay on a new path, the will to make change. That's everything everyone's thinking about right now. It's New Year's time, right? We'll finish today's practice with water element Qigong. Left foot is going to step back out, not hip distance apart this time. Sinking. Hands come in front of the pelvis. We're going to take all of that energy you just cultivated through the Kibadachi, the horse stance. Inhale. Diaphragm. Exhale, roll. And sink. Taking that strength and that will into movement, distributing it through the inner water of the body. The color of water element is a dark black, blue color. You might notice you can see or feel that water element energy circulating. Go 2 more passes. Rising up, circulating that power, strength through the inner waters. Now, once you're complete, you can go ahead and close out. Feeling the energy you've connected to, cultivated, and stabilized. Massaging in, nourishing yourself with all of that vital resource, those inner waters moving and warming up, circulating and distributing vitality. Rub the hands and distribute that energy any place the body needs it, especially at this time of year, rubbing into the kidneys, the knees, and the groin, pelvis area. I look forward to hearing how you're doing this week, how your New Year's evolution is moving forward, and how this access to inner strength, fortification of the will, and sticking with the program works for you. Share with us in the comments, connect in the community, and be well.